Should I do this? Should I do this? I'll do this. I'll do this. Hi, this is Zia, and this is
Kimana.
and welcome to Holistic Nomads TV, where ancient wisdom and modern science can help you to have more clarity and energy in your life. So, today is another 5 best healing herbs for everyday use. Such a long topic, it's still difficult to remember. Anyhow, so if you're new to this series, I will highly recommend to watch the previous one from last week, where we talk about why we choose these 5 herbs, and then we also talk about the first herbs, which was Triphala. And this episode, this week, we are going to share about the second best healing herbs, and that is
Ginger.
ginger. Very common, not surprising.
Common, readily available all over the world, and such an incredible herb. In Ayurveda, it's known as one of the universal healers, can be used by so many people, effectively decreases diseases, massively because it works with the Agni, the digestive force, and the circulation across the body. As osteopaths say, circulation is supreme.
Because that's related with Vata. When the circulation is disturbed, it might then create another
Disorders.
Disorders.
If circulation's disturbed, nourishment is not getting to the tissues and toxins are not getting pulled away from the tissues.
Cool. So, like last week, we're first going to talk about its rasa of ginger, or taste.
The taste,
Yeah, and that
so
is?
its primary taste is pungent, which means warming or spicy. This means it tends to influence the digestive force and secrete more digestive enzymes, enable you to be able to secrete more digestive enzymes. It pushes out towards the exterior of the body and generally improves circulation. Its second taste is sweet, which means it can help to build up and nourish the tissue, and sweet taste usually harmonizes the mind as well. It's the only taste that is sattvic, meaning tending towards neutrality and harmony in the mind.
Which is something that we all need in this modern world that we live in now. More harmony.
Yeah.
So that's the first one, which is the rasa, the taste. And then the second one is something called virya.
Virya, which is the potency. The potency is either heating or cooling for the herb. And ginger is heating, which means it tends to open up the circulation. It opens up all of the cells, which makes circulation, secretion of enzymes and fluids easier throughout the body, and it tends to rise upwards and push outwards in the body. So its action will tend to rise upwards and push outwards in the body.
Okay, that makes sense, because when I was little, and I had really chronic bronchitis, and my mom gave me a lot of ginger, warm ginger with honey.
Yeah.
Probably because she wants to bring the mucus upward and
Yeah,
out.
it's an expectorant. It means it pulls things up and out of the
Yeah.
lungs.
Makes sense. Thanks,
Yeah.
Mom.
Yeah, thanks, Mum.
And then the third one after virya.
It's Vipak, means it's post-digestive taste, means after it goes through the digestive tract, what's the overall effect it has in the body. Its post-digestive taste is sweet, which means it's generally building. It tends to help build the tissues over time, which is not so common for something that has a pungent, spicy taste as its first taste.
Yeah.
Most things that are pungent as their first taste will tend to reduce the tissues over time. This is part of why ginger is so suitable for so many people, is although it's warming and pungent, it helps to build the tissues long term and doesn't reduce the body.
When you say reduce tissue, it's you can call like weight loss, like losing weight. Not always.
We could call it weight loss, but it's not necessarily about weight loss, it's tissue loss.
Okay.
You know, so that could mean reduce the thickness of your skin. You know, would be something that would be a reducing taste. Reduce the size of muscles. You know,
Okay.
not just the fat tissue. There's 7 different tissues in
Okay.
Ayurveda, and it's generally reducing to those tissues. Not for ginger. it's generally increasing and nourishing to those tissues.
Cool. And then the next one is
The next one is it's Guna, which means it's a certain category that's in, and the Guna for ginger depends on whether or not you're using fresh ginger or whether or not you're using dry ginger as the powder. So if you're using the fresh ginger, it tends to moisten the tissues and it's heavier to digest. If you're using the dried ginger, it tends to dry the tissues, it's light to digest, and it has a very sharp and penetrating property to it.
Is that something related with the essential oil because it's not fresh anymore?
I think it's partly related to the essential oil, and I think there's more than that as well.
Okay.
I think we're taking out some of the more softer properties that are present in ginger when we dry it and we turn it into a powder.
Yeah.
And that oxidation process is somehow taking something out.
But not that all powder herbs is bad, it's just for different uses.
Yeah, they just have different properties. It's not bad, dried ginger. It's used specifically for certain conditions. So Ayurveda, it's not good or bad. We just look at the qualities and how they're changing.
And then next one.
So the next one is the dosha for that. It tends to reduce vata and kapha, and it can increase pitta in excess, so we need to be aware of certain pitta conditions. Yet, because of its sweet vipak, its sweet post-digestive taste, it's still fairly suitable for many pitta conditions.
Except if you eat a tub of ginger.
Yeah, that's right. It's all about balance, which is why it still increases pitta. In excess, it will absolutely increase pitta.
But it's
in
not
small
as
amounts,
much as if you eat chili,
Chili, garlic, onion, all of those are going to increase pitta far more.
Cool. Next, what are we going to talk about? Ginger,
Its specific areas in the body where it tends to work is the digestive system. So it'll have all of those tastes, properties, qualities in the digestive system, the lungs, and the circulation. Whenever you want to warm, get things moving inside the lungs, the digestive system, or the circulation, think ginger straight away.
Do you think the Japanese, because if you go to Japanese restaurant, they have this pickled ginger.
Yeah.
You think that's because sushi is cold. You think they try to let's warm up the belly first because you're gonna eat something raw and cold.
Yeah.
So that it can digest this cold food.
I would say that's perfectly part of the picture, yeah. The next one is contraindications. So ginger does have a few contraindications. They're mainly heat things in the digestive tract. So we've got like reflux, that's an upward rising tendency because of its heating virya, its heating potency, it will tend to move things upward. So if you get acid reflux, sometimes known as heartburn, incorrectly common name, it's nothing to do with the heart, it's heat in the digestive tract coming up, then ginger not so suitable. Ulcers inside the digestive tract also not so suitable. And excessive sweating, if the person's really just sweating a lot, then ginger's going to make them sweat more.
What happened for people, big person sweats a lot but have mucus problem? What you gonna do with that?
Then I would still use a little bit of ginger,
Yeah.
and I think it would be suitable, not in the middle of the day, not around the time that they're exercising, yet I think it would still be suitable for those
Cool.
people.
Is that everything for the ginger?
Yep, that's everything for the ginger.
Cool. So next week we'll be back for the third best healing herbs for everyday use. If you'd like to learn more about herbs, then
there's an article on my website on kimana.com which is labeled the best herbal medicine book ever. An amazing book by Sebastian Pole. I've written a book review on it. If you want to know more about herbs, it's got all of the properties I just mentioned and much more.
yeah. And then if you want to learn other thing with us, go to our website balancelife.id. There's a whole page about our future events and courses. And if you like this video and our previous video, don't forget to subscribe so you can be the first to know our future educational video. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you next week.
Adios.